Hi everyone, thank you for coming here. There are many ways you can carry foreign currency or transfer money internationally. First being cash, the oldest method to take money abroad. You can visit any forex shop or agent to trade in your Indian rupees for any international currency that you want. You can also use your Indian debit or credit card to transact internationally, but this may be costlier as many additional charges like conversion fees, transaction fees get added. Your best bet would be to carry a forex card when you're traveling outside of the country. There are many companies offering forex cards like Thomas Cook, Bookmyforex, Wise. Many prominent banks also issue forex cards like ICICI, HDFC, HSBC. For example, when I came to Australia, I brought with me HDFC's multi-currency forex card. As the name suggests, a multi-currency forex card can be loaded with multiple currencies. For example, when I was coming here, I loaded it with Australian dollars. But if in future I'm going to Europe, I can load it with euro as well in the same forex card. There was no extra charge or one-time fees on this card. The exchange rate was also better than what the other banks and other sites were offering. Even as of today, HDFC's forex rate, which is this much, is better than what ICICI and Bookmyforex are offering. A convenient and flexible aspect of forex card. If you're falling short of international money, you can load it anytime, anywhere with whatever amount you want. This convenience is missing in the next method I'm going to talk about. That is transferring money abroad using money transfer sites like Bookmyforex, Wise, or Western Union. Although, as I mentioned, carrying a forex card with you while traveling abroad is the best option. But sometimes in urgent scenarios, you might need to transfer money digitally to a person residing abroad. So for example, in my case, my brother was traveling abroad and his forex card did not arrive in time. So I had to transfer money to his Australian bank account. I compared the exchange rates and transfer charges of different money transfer sites like Wise, Western Union and Bookmyforex and found Bookmyforex to be cheaper than the rest, as you can see on your screens. One thing to note over here is that these sites are very smart. They claim to charge you with no extra fees or no additional fees on your first transfer and do not show these charges getting applied to your order on the first screen itself. But as in when you're clicking next and progressing with your order on their website, you will see many components getting added. In Bookmyforex also these components were added, but the amount I found was lesser than what the other sites were quoting. So now I'll tell you how you can transfer money abroad using Bookmyforex. Go to bookmyforex.com. After signing up or registering as a new user, log into your user account. Select your city and country from where you are transferring money, then the country to which you're sending. Enter the amount you wish to transfer. I want my brother to receive 4,000 AUD, so entering that here, its INR equivalent automatically gets calculated. You can also enter the amount in INR and the receiving AUD amount gets auto-populated. You can see the exchange rate being offered on the screen. Click on transfer now. Enter the sender's PAN and Aadhaar. This is the person from whose account money would be deducted. After clicking continue, you will get an OTP on your registered mobile number for Aadhaar verification. The next step, you will select the purpose of your international money transfer. In my case, as I was sending to my brother abroad, I selected transfer funds to family abroad. Please note that you need to have a solid reason for transferring money abroad, as this is regulated by government guidelines. Bookmyforex or any other money transfer site for that matter will not transfer the amount or will not process your order till the time your reason is valid enough. That's why this section comes under the eligibility check, as the company will first check whether your order is fit to be processed or not. For example, although the drop-down list has an option of being able to transfer money to a non-family member, when I called Bookmyforex customer care service, it clearly mentioned that under this category, it won't be able to process my transaction. So I would suggest that before sending money abroad, always check with the company to see if there are any such conditions with transferring of the money. Also, selecting the right purpose for your money transfer is important because TCS or tax collected at source will also depend on your reason for the transfer. Additional charges will also be applied based on the purpose of your international money transfer. As you can see on the screen, I was charged rupees 600 extra for transferring money to my brother abroad. Is the sender an Indian resident? In my case, I am. So I'm choosing yes. Now you have to upload some documents. You have to upload sender's PAN card. Secondly, you have to show the sender's relationship with the beneficiary or the receiver. Example, in my case, in order to prove my relationship with my brother, I uploaded my passport. In the relationship with beneficiary and in remittance address proof, I uploaded my brother's passport. Both of these documents of me and my brother carried our father name, which was obviously common. So that kind of established that we were siblings. Coming back to the form, click on continue. Now you enter the receiver's or beneficiary's bank account details in which he or she will receive the money. Click on continue. Now you come to transfer details. As you can read in the last line, intermediary bank charges of $25 to $30 will be additionally applied. Now, what is an intermediary bank? It's not necessary that every domestic bank would have a direct connection with an overseas bank. That's when intermediary banks come into the picture. They act as a middleman between the sending bank and the overseas receiving bank. In my case, I'm transferring money from my SBI bank account, which first goes into RBL Bank, which is the intermediate bank Bookmyforex has tied up with. This RBL Bank will now finally send my money to the receiver's Australian bank account. That's how it works. Give your consent and enter the OTP received. Now let's review the order details. As you can see, bank fees and GST have been added. Rupees 600 that we saw earlier for our purpose of transfer has also been added. Mind it that intermediary bank charges have not been shown here. That amount will be later on applied. Click on continue. For now, it won't ask me to pay my full amount of 2,16,000 something. It will prompt you to pay a refundable deposit of 2% for locking your exchange rate. Please note that if for some reason you decide not to go ahead with the transfer and you've already paid this 2% of holding fees, you will not get this money back. It will only get refunded once the amount reaches the Australian bank account. In my case, it took 4 to 5 days. If you have transferred foreign currency over 7 lakhs in the current financial year, TCS or tax collected at source will be deducted, which is 20%. Subject to certain expenses like medical expenses or educational expenses are exempted from the TCS. So that's why I mentioned before that the purpose of transfer should be the right one, as TCS amount will also depend on this. So if you have transferred more than 7 lakhs, then select yes. In this case, 20% extra will be deducted. For me, it was a no, as I was transferring less than 7 lakhs and I had made no other foreign transaction in the current financial year. I'm paying my holding fees of 4,320 rupees. The order for transferring money has been placed. Till now, I haven't paid the full amount of 2,16,000. Only the holding deposit fees has been paid. After this, I receive an email to submit transfer details. Till now, we had only given the receiver's bank account details. Now, I have to submit the sender's bank account information as well. Recipient's details are already pre-filled based on the information provided before. After this, you get a couple of emails, one having A2 and CIF forms. There is no action to be performed on these forms. These are already pre-filled based on the information that you had provided before. You can simply skim through these forms to recheck your details. After this step, an in-person verification by a Bookmyforex person is also done by visiting your place. So basically, this person brought physical copies of A2 and CIF forms. In my case, the Bookmyforex person visited me the very next day and I signed on the physical copies of these two forms. At last, you come to the final step. You will receive an email asking you to do a bank transfer via NIFT or RTGS to the RBL or intermediary bank account details provided in the email itself. So you transfer the amount by the usual method of net banking. As you can see in the order value, now the intermediary bank charges have been added. For me, that charge is 1,495 rupees. Now let's look at the payment bifurcation for a moment. 4,000 AUD or almost rupees 2.15 lakh is the amount that the receiver receives. Overhead charges that go neither into the receiver's bank account nor sender's are 600 for transferring to a family member abroad, 1495 rupees for intermediary bank charges, 324 for GST. Total amount of all of these components is rupees 2419 approximately. It's an overhead cost to your already existing foreign exchange rates, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Rupees 215 that you see subtracted over here is some random coupon code that I found on Google. Once your payment is done, upload the proof of the payment by taking a screenshot of the successful payment and uploading it on the link provided in the email itself. Bookmyforex says that it usually takes 1 to 3 days to transfer the amount. For me, it took 2 to 2.5 days for my brother to receive the money in his Australian bank account. After the money has been transferred, you will also receive an email of confirmation from Bookmyforex saying that the money has successfully been received in the receiver's bank account. I know this process was a lot, but at least you are sending your money via a reliable and trusted source, which otherwise cannot be said for the local agents or the vendors that claim to send your money across. You know that your money is not falling into wrong hands. And also a disclaimer, all this is based on my own experience and my own research. If you know any other method to transfer the money in a cheaper way, please let me know. It would help me as well. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.